All right, this is Alex and Bhargav recording our presentation for the projects for CS334, in which we're trying to predict COVID-19 risk on the county level. So to reiterate our goal and intent with this project, we wanted to see if we could use the ML techniques from this class to expose trends and look at potential links between socioeconomic, and demographic information and link that to health outcomes relating to the COVID-19 pandemic. And we wanted to use socioeconomic and demographic data on the county level as a training set to predict sort of a metric of risk.
For our data sets, we had to change the data sets that we were using before. For county level demographic and socioeconomic data, we are now using the American Community Survey from the US Census Bureau, and that contains some really comprehensive data on social, housing, demographic, and economic data set for every county. And so that was just a lot better than what we were using before. And we also stopped using the Kaggle COVID-19 data set we're now using one from covidactnow.org. And what they do that's really nice is they actually have they predict their own risk level for each county. And so then we're trying to use, sort of compare those two and predict county risk level. For our pre-processing pipeline, which we've already done, I basically take the risk data and remove irrelevant column and rename some features. And then I do the same thing for that with the 4 data sets from the ACS. And then I also parse the FIPS code from that, which is a numerical indicator for each county within the US. And then importantly, I compare the counties that are in the ACS data and the risk data, and I remove the ones that are only in one or the other, so that way we're working with the same set of counties. And the final result is a data set of 3,216 counties with however many features are in each data set.
So we're currently using Google Colab, which is a shared way of looking at our progress on a Python notebook that we can both work on. And it's good as a constructive way for us to collaborate and go through our progress. At this point, all we've really started doing is cleaning up the ACS data that we've looked at so far, only the demographic data set, and testing out if we can plug it into predictive logistic regression models. And our early tests with the demographic data haven't really resulted in great correlation, but we still have a lot of pre-processing to do and a lot of feature selection and analyzing our features to make our data sets as optimal as they can for our predictions. And to give you guys a little glimpse of what our Colab stuff looks like. So this is the risk data frame that Alex was talking about earlier. So this is the FIPS column, which is an ID, a numerical ID, as he mentioned, that represents each county. And this is going to be our main linking factor for linking the 2 data sets because this is in both of our data frames. And this is the output metric of risk levels. It's a categorical variable from, I think, 0 to 5. And it's a good way for us to keep track of kind of COVID risk and use that as a target label. And then next, this is a glimpse of the demographic data set from ACS. Again, it has the FIPS that we can use to link. And these are just a few of the features. There are actually 88 features in this data set. We haven't done much filtering yet. So you can see there are just a bunch of numerical data, and we need to properly parse it to get an idea of what features we want to use for optimal prediction. And this is just a little snapshot of the logistic regression model we tried running earlier. And we did get some warnings, and the metrics you can see at the bottom aren't necessarily the best. But like I said, this is very early in the process, and we're still trying to figure out exactly what features we want to select. And we still have a lot of analysis ahead of us.
And going off from that, our next steps include more proper feature selection with Seaborn, because right now we're just running all the features, and so that's work we need to do. In addition, processing more features from other data sets, because right now we're only looking at the demographic CSV. And then finally, we're going to do some test cross-validation techniques, again, to further refine the models that we've been working on. And so with that, thank you so much for listening to our presentation, and we'll start taking questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much.